All right, in frame should be. Okay. Well, give me a minute. Okay. Again. Hello. Hmm. 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 1, 2, 3. How does Jack Black go? He says, I cannot remember a single one of the things he says to get started. Lucy likes light literature. Amos Ames, the amiable aeronaut, aided in an aerial enterprise at the age of 88. Some shun sunshine. Do you shun sunshine? White something vinegar with veal. Anyway, enough of that. This is the initial phase of the project. And yeah, as initiation phases go, I don't even know if I'm saying the right things, but I'm really just getting it out right. Starting initiation of this project of mine. And obviously there's not good lighting right now, and I want to get better lighting and do this a little bit better tomorrow when there's sunshine. But this is just testing and talking about what it is that I want to do, the project that I'm talking about, which is plain and simple, no video or audio stimuli besides the ones that I can either create or that just happen to be a part of nature. Start with where it came from, why this idea came up. I was watching, I think this guy's name is Louis, New World of Knowledge, a very cool YouTuber that I like to listen to. And he was just doing a video that I downloaded going on about how things just feel different, how things just feel like they've shifted, and how we've always got this information just hounded in on us. And it resonated. Not too much in everything he was saying, but just in the feeling of we've got too much going on. I've personally felt this need, this itch to just have something going. There has to be some video on. I have to have music playing. Or I feel like I'm losing my mind. I feel like I'm not eating. And so I don't want that to be the case any longer. And so I want to just start this project of no screens. Well, no, not no screens, because I do a lot of my writing with Obsidian right now, and I like my writing. Helps me get my ideas through, and helps to give me clarity. But one thing that I'm finding is I'm always looking for a video to watch. I'm always looking for some music to listen to or something else going on in the background. And what happens is it actually becomes the foreground. It becomes the main thing that I've got going on is what am I watching? And I don't want that any longer. I want to be on my own path. I want to choose the things that I'm doing. And I remember doing something similar to this years ago when I was 22, 23 years old, where I just stopped listening to music as often. I just turned off Spotify and YouTube music, and I just how do I say, I just raw dogged life. And I happened to find one of my personal insights was that, you know what, I've got perfect musical tools on the ends of my wrists, and I've got my body, and I've got my footsteps, and I've got the birds chirping, and I've got the wind blowing, and so much inspiration and sound and movement going on all the time. I want to get back to that. I used to make such weird little jingles and jangles, and you just find your rhythm in life. And once you find a rhythm, you sort of walk with a spring in your step. You walk with a style that no one can take away from you because you're living at your pace. You're living at the rate that your heart is going at, doing the things that you know how to do, only you. And I miss that. I miss that feeling of like I can make these sounds. I can create. I can be part of this world that's around me. I can make sound, and dogs look at me and cats look at me and birds stop and stare. And I know we're all capable of that in our own little way. And I think a lot of you behind this camera, behind this video, might not realize that the world is watching. Nature is always watching you. And I like to think that in little ways we can impress nature. We can, be that little force that isn't anywhere else. But I feel like some of us, it's been stolen from us. We've been robbed, really, of that. Where I don't know what force it is, what evil force lurks behind the shadows, but I feel like there's definitely a force that has decided for us that we are nothing more than consumers, that our value is tied to how much money we can give, how much working time we can give. But nature never asks that of us. Nature just asks us to be a part of it and to survive, do our best to survive. And one thing that sticks with me is you can never eat a dollar. Yes, the way that the economy works and the way things have circulated is we've bought convenience and we've bought options with our dollar, and we value ourselves by how lucky and how well placed we are in society. And I understand the need for money. And trust me, if you want to buy me a coffee, I'm not going to say no. Um, but we'll never be able to eat a dollar. And yet, there's such a massive focus on increasing the number of dollars we have instead of focusing on what the real projects were, on what the real challenges were. It reminds me of this book I read, and I can picture it. It's something wizards, and I'll have to find it. Maybe one of you guys know it. It's got this green leaf, and I can't even remember the author. I read it years ago. But it had gone over the point, the period of time where wheat was just not naturally available in the way that humans needed it. There was this big need for food, and so some scientists, I think it's wizards and scientists or something like that, but they needed to find a way to have more food, to have more wheat, to make more bread and all the things that we eat. And so through lots of scientific method and genetic modification and very clever people, um, I'm not going to get into specifics because I'm going to get it wrong, but somewhere in Mexico, they had this bit of wheat that could grow really small um, leaves, but the bud was just so rich and thick, and so there was more food available on that type of wheat. And I mean, over many generations, over many different varieties, we eventually came to a few that we would come back to, and that's genetically modified. It's sort of genetically selected. And I liked reading that book because I understood the need for the science. I understood the need because there was a problem that we were trying to overcome. And that problem was that there wasn't enough food. And I come back to where we are now, and I feel like the problems in the world are that there's not enough money. How can that be? There's not enough money. Everyone seems to be struggling with this. There's not enough money. There's a scarcity of paper. We can't even eat. It's never a problem. We can just print more. We can create bonds. We can make promises to produce for other problems, but we're not. At least the majority of us, and I'd call myself a little bit uneducated because a little bit misguided and misled, but that is what we're chasing. More money for more convenience, sure, for more options, sure, but that's not the main focus. The main focus is make more money. And so I sit here and I'm watching YouTube videos and I'm not finding the answers to my questions and I'm not finding entertainment. I'm just finding people that are chasing ways to make money. I'll never be able to eat money, neither will they. So what are we really doing? What are we doing it for? What is the promise? What is the produce? What is the product at the end of it? I don't know. But I don't like slamming my head against a wall, playing a game of Monopoly that's been played for generations before I even got to throw the first set of dice. I'm happy to tackle problems. I'm happy to go after things that I want and I think can better my life and my family's life. But I don't think money, tangible money, I don't think that money is going to dig the hole. Not really. Not really, really. Anyway, it's just an opinion. It's just a thought. I'm certain a lot of you are going to disagree with me. You know how the internet is there's more people telling me that I'm wrong or telling me how I'm wrong than there are people that could ever, reaffirm what I'm saying. And I don't even need that affirmation from any of you. I'm on my own path, and what I want for you guys is to be on your own path and find out away from the people that are just making videos for the sake of money. I want you to also be able to find yourself showing off to nature. And yeah, this is just my journey. This is the initiation of my project and the why. And I really hope that I stick to it. I hope this can be a sort of an accountability partner. Don't mind the background. And maybe I can AI edit that stuff out. Unmade bed and all. But yes, my name's Damien. Thanks for watching my video. See you in the next one. Peace.